Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you are brand new here, a very warm welcome to you. Today's video is very special because it's designed for two types of people. First, the absolute beginner who has never touched SAP BW before and wants to understand what it is and how it works. And second, the experienced SAP BW consultant who knows BW Classic inside out and now wants to understand what's changed in SAP BW for HANA. So, whether you are just starting out or making the switch, stay with me. This video has something for everyone. So, let's dive in. So, let's start from the very beginning. Imagine your company has hundreds of different systems: sales system, finance, HR, and logistics system. Each of these systems generates massive amounts of data every single day. Now, here is the problem: all that data is scattered across different systems in different formats, stored in different ways. If your CEO walks in tomorrow and says, "How much revenue did we make last quarter across all regions?" So, pulling that answer manually from 10 different systems will be a nightmare. That's exactly the problem SAP BW solves. SAP Business Warehouse is a centralized data warehousing solution built by SAP. It collects data from all your different source systems, cleans it, transforms it, organizes it, and store it in a structured way so that business users can run reports and make decisions based on reliable, consistent data. Think of it like this: SAP BW is the single source of truth for your entire organization data. Now, to understand SAP BW, you need to understand its core architecture. The complete data warehouse architecture can be described using three different layers, and everything in SAP BW revolves around these three layers. The first layer is data acquisition layer, where the data is extracted from the various source systems and loaded into the BW system, either in scheduled batches or in real-time scenario. The second layer is data modeling layer, where we organize and structure the data, apply the business logic, and makes the data meaningful. Now, the third is data analysis layer, where the prepared data is exposed for business intelligence and decision making. In this layer, we define the data layouts, apply filters, and make the data available to be consumed by the front-end reporting and visualization tools like Analysis for Office and SAP Analytics Cloud or any third-party tool. Now let's understand end-to-end working of SAP BW for HANA. So the process begins by connecting to various source systems like SAP S/4HANA, legacy ECC, or non-SAP databases. Once we connect with source system, we pull the data into BW system using different types of data sources. Now we have different layers for storing the data into BW system. Once we extract the data, it first stored into staging layer as it is. Then we cleanse and harmonize the data and apply business logics and move it to the next layer, which is enterprise data warehouse layer, in short EDW layer. Then in the next layer, we combine the data from different areas or sources together and build BW queries over it. In the query, we define the specific layout of the final report and any special requirements, such as subtotals, sorting sequence, additional calculations, and filters. This query then consumed by different front-end tool, and the most common is Analysis for Office and SAP Analytics Cloud. Now you understand its end-to-end working, so let's move into more details of each layer of the BW architecture and see what processes and objects used in these respective layers. So let's start with data acquisition layer. In this layer, we extract data from any source system and load into BW system. So there are basically three ways of extracting the data. First, ETL, which is extract, transform, and load. That means we first extract the data and transform it into a specific format and then load it either in batch or real time. Now, loading the complete data every time can be very time and memory consuming. So we can also use delta loads to extract only the data that is new or has changed since the last extraction. Now, the third way, we can also use virtualization, where data is not physically loaded or transferred. Instead, remote connections allow the system to read and process operational data on the fly directly from the source. Now let's see what are the objects used in the layer. So the first object is the source system, which is responsible for stabilizing the connection with the source system. This is done by basis team or administrator. And the second is data source, which serves as the actual interface to access and extract the data from the connected source system. And other objects are ODP and ODQ, which is responsible for regulating and maintaining the records to be transferred into BW system. Then we have transformation, which map the source field with the target object fields and defines the transformation rules and logic. Then we have DTP, which transfers the data from source to target object. Then data flow, which visually defines the entire end-to-end sequence of all the objects mentioned above. Now let's quickly compare data acquisition layer of BW for HANA with BW 7.5 version. On the left side, you can see the traditional older way with SAP BW 7.5. On the right side is the modernized simplified way with SAP BW for HANA. Let's quickly go through the 6 main changes. Number 1 is connecting to SAP systems. For those with experience in older version, you remember using info packages to load data into temporary storage area called PSA. In BW for HANA, the PSA is completely gone. We now use the ODP framework to load data directly using a DTP. This makes the process much cleaner. Number 2 is BW to BW. Moving data between different BW systems has also been upgraded to use this same modern ODP framework. Number 3 covers external databases. The old DB Connect and UD Connect interfaces have been replaced. We now use powerful SAP HANA tools like SDA and SDI, which allow us to view data virtually or in real time without moving it. Number 4 is for third party or cloud data. Instead of dealing with many complicated connection types, we now use standard APIs to push data directly into our system. Number 5 is big data cluster. Connecting to big data used to require complex workarounds. Now SAP provides a dedicated big data source system that makes central access much easier. And finally, number 6 is flat files. If you just need to load a simple file, the process is completely unchanged. Now let's move to the next layer of the architecture, which is data modeling. So data modeling is where we turn raw data into harmonized, business-ready information for a reliable single version of the truth for business report. Let's start with key processes of this layer. First, we start with requirement analysis to figure out exactly what the business needs to measure. Second, we design the architecture using LSA++. For those of you who have used older version, LSA++ is the new simplified way to organize our data layers for better performance. Third is data harmonization. This is where we clean the data, fix formats, and convert currencies so everything is standard. Fourth, we choose our modeling approach. We can use traditional info objects or we can use the newer, faster, field-based approach for more flexibility. Now, if you talk about the key object of this layer, then the first object is the info object. We use info object as our building blocks to give the data business meaning, like defining what a product or a revenue is. For physical storage, we rely on the ADSO to hold our data securely. Then we have our virtualization tools. Instead of moving data around, we use objects like the composite provider and the OpenODS view to just look at the data virtually on the fly. Finally, we tie it all together with transformation and data flows. In short, this entire process takes technical data and makes it perfectly structured and ready for the business to use. Now let's compare it with older version of SAP BW. So on the left side, we have the older SAP BW 7.5 system, and on the right, we have the new simplified SAP BW for HANA. Let's start with the number 1, the overall modeling philosophy. The old system was a bit complex because it had support many different types of databases. The new system is clean, optimized, and built to run only on powerful SAP HANA database. Number two is physical storage, and this is where you will see a massive update. In the older version, we use many different containers to store data like InfoCubes, PSA, and different types of DSOs. In BW for HANA, almost all of those old objects are gone. They have been completely replaced by just one main storage object, the ADSO or Advanced Data Store Object. Moving to number 3, our virtual reporting foundation. When we want to view data virtually without physically moving it, the old system used things like multi-providers and infosets. Today, those have been replaced by composite provider, which is your main tool for virtual reporting. Now, for data flow and transformation, we see even more cleanup. Older tools like info packages and 3.x data flow have been entirely removed. The system now uses a modern, standardized flow to move your data. Finally, number 5 is the modeling approach, where we are moving away from heavy, complicated designs like the old star schema. Instead, BW for HANA focuses on virtualization first approach. It pushes the heavy lifting directly to the HANA database, which makes everything run incredibly fast. Now let's move into the next and final layer of the architecture, which is data analysis layer. This is where we take all the prepared data and turn it into real insights and dashboards that the business can actually use. Let's start on the left side and look at the four key processes. First is query design. This is where we define exactly how the data will be presented by picking the right rows and columns and filters. Second is analytical logic definition, where we add the smart math to our reports, like converting currencies, adding formulas, or ranking our top 10 products. Third is reporting and visualization. This step is all about making the data look great. We built formatted reports and interactive dashboard so user can click and drill down into the details. Fourth is performance optimization. We want our reports to be fast, so we use techniques like query caching and push down filters to make sure the data loads instantly. Now, moving over to the right side, let's look at the object we used to build this. At the top, we have query and analytical objects, which includes BW query, restricted key figures, calculated key figures, and variables, and also condition and exceptions. Then we have reporting and front-end tools, which are analysis for Office and SAP Analytics Cloud. And finally, we have authorization and user control. This is critical for security. We use analysis authorization to make sure people only see the specific data they are allowed to see. Now let's compare this with SAP BW 7.5 version. Starting with number 1, the core analytical object. The good news here is that the central concept stays exactly the same. You will still use trusty VW query in both systems. Now moving to number 2, the underlying reporting providers. In the old days, query were built on top of many different objects like InfoCubes, multi-providers, and InfoSets. In the new system, those are all gone. The architecture is now standardized to use composite provider and the ADSO. Now, number 3, let's talk about the front-end tools that your business actually uses. The old system relied heavily on the BEX suite, like the BEX Analyzer. Now there is massive shift to modern tools. We use powerful applications like SAP Analytics Cloud and Analysis for Office. Finally, the last one, the overall analytical capabilities. Building these queries used to happen in the old SAP GUI with limited performance depending on the database. Now you build them in the modern Eclipse BW modeling tools. Plus, you get highly optimized performance because the heavy calculation work is pushed directly down to the HANA database. Alright, now I am going to tell you the complete step by step map to take you from a total beginner to an expert in SAP BW for HANA. Let's walk through the four main stages of this journey. Stage 1 is to build your foundation. Before building anything, you need to understand master data and transactional data. You will learn how time dependent and independent data works. This stage also covers the core architecture of SAP BW for HANA and different modeling approaches like LSA++, star schema, and snowflake schema. Now at stage 2, you will learn data acquisition. This is all about bringing data into the system. You will learn to use different extractors like generic and CDS view based extractors. A big part of this is mastering delta mechanism such as genic delta and CDC delta. You will also learn to set up transformations with different routines and use DTPs to handle errors smoothly. At stage 3, you will learn data modeling. Here you build your storage. You will work with info objects and master data tables. You will learn the core ideas of ADSOs like staging, standard, and data marts ADSO. At this stage, you will learn when to use info object based modeling and field based modeling and how to combine different objects and ADSO using composite provider. And also you will learn how to use OpenODS view to virtually get the data from source system into BW system. Finally, at stage 4, you will learn data analysis, where you will create BW queries and add logics using restricted and calculated key figures, known as RKF and CKF. You will also learn to set up different variables, including customer exit variables, so user can filter the data. Lastly, you will view and explore these reports in tools like Analysis for Office and SAP Analytics Cloud. If you follow this roadmap step by step, you will build a solid, complete understanding of the whole system. So that's it for today's video. If you have any doubts, please drop a comment, and also you can join my Telegram channel, the link provided in the comment. So goodbye, see you in the next video.